Hey guys, how's it going? It is Scorper here, and I am here to bring you guys a quick video on the 5 best left fielders in Diamond Dynasty. Now, I know Kris Bryant was a left fielder, and I'm just going to look at his stats really quickly because I did third baseman actually right before Kris Bryant went to third base. Now, he was playing in left field. If you wanted to play him in left field, I would probably say, he'd easily be up there at number 1 if you wanted to. He's definitely a huge viable option to actually play in left field. He's great contact, great power. The fielding isn't great, but the left fielder really isn't going to have an amazing arm strength. What you're looking from a left fielder, guys, is you hope that they would have a good amount of speed. That's really important in the outfield. And you would hope that their fielding is good. Their arm strength doesn't necessarily need to be as good because they have to actually throw the ball the least amount of distance compared to the other 2 outfielders. And that's because the outfielders mainly throw the ball to second, third, and home. It's basically the same distance to second from all of them. It's basically the same distance to home from all of them. But the third base, it's relatively easy. So it's not. It's a lot shorter for left fielders than right fielders. So left fielders, you don't necessarily need as much arm strength, but it's not like it's a disadvantage to have more arm strength. So Kris Bryant is definitely an option to put in left field. I just wanted to go over him a little quickly because I didn't want to just leave him out of all my videos. So I'm going to start at number 5, and this could honestly be a couple people, and it is really hard for me to actually make this decision. And the reason I'm going to go with Michael Saunders, and the reason I'm going with him, guys, is I might be a little bit biased towards him, and I have him on my lineup, or not on my lineup, but I have him as a card, and he's always has a 5-star insider rating. So he's always, in that 90 range, and it's very nice. I've used him before. He's a very, very solid hitter. Like I said, you don't necessarily need arm strength, but the fact that he has 87 arm strength doesn't hurt him. He does have 66 speed, so good amount of speed, very good arm strength, definitely good enough to play left field. The fielding could use some work. The arm accuracy is not huge, but it could get better. Arm accuracy for outfielders for some reason doesn't mean, it means a lot, but I still see outfielders making pinpoint throws all the time, so I'm not too worried about it being at 62. Let's see, the reaction's good. Other than that, his hitting stats, we'll look at his hitting stats really quickly, and that's going to be 74 and 75 against righties. I honestly think that's what got me, the fact that he's such a solid hitter against righties. And he's normally in a 5-star. I know I don't like to talk about insider edge rating, but when I personally know that a person literally always has a 5-star rating, it's hard for me to, ignore that. I know Michael Saunders always has a 5-star rating, so it's kind of like, I don't know. And against lefties, he still has 70. He has 65 contact and 59 power, and if he has a 5-star day, those go up by 13. That's 78 and 72 for an 83 overall silver player. So again, there's not too many great left fielders. So again, Kris Bryant would probably have made this list instead of Michael Saunders. But there's not too many great left fielders in the game, and I definitely think he is a solid option. And at 440 stubs, guys, he's probably a steal. But again, a lot of you guys probably are past that. We're going to go to number 4 with Christian Yelich. So with number 4, Christian Yelich is probably the best silver player you could actually get in this game. And the reason I say that is because we can look at his stats here. And from a left fielder, he literally is everything you need. Okay, so we'll start off with the base running. You have 67 speed and 51 stealing. That is definitely enough to get you some stolen bases. Now, again, it's not amazing speed. It's not up in the 90s. It's not up in the 80s. It is in the 60s, but it's still pretty solid speed. The fielding is really what gets me. The fact that he has 90 fielding with 77 arm strength. I know arm strength really isn't that important, But 77 arm strength for a left fielder is probably like a very solid number. You really don't need much more than 77. The arm accuracy is at 73 and the reaction is at 81, which means he's going to get to those balls probably quicker than a lot of other left fielders. And the next thing that really makes me happy is the fact that his contact against righties is 90, and against lefties it is 76, which really isn't that bad. But against righties it's 90, which is, I mean, that's just insane for an 84 overall. I don't understand how this card really is 84. I mean, it just looks like it would play way better than an 84. So he comes in at number 4 because of the fact that, I mean, he doesn't really have much power, so it is not really a problem, but his speed, nothing's too amazing. His arm strength really isn't too amazing. His speed isn't too amazing. His hitting stats aren't too amazing, but all around, he's probably one of the best, like, well, he is the best silver player in the game in my mind, and he's probably one of the best all-around players in the game. So he comes in at number 4. Now at number 3, I'm actually putting Ryan Braun, who is the highest rated left fielder in the game, at number 3. Now let's go over his hitting stats. First of all, you have very good contact and power against lefties. So if you face lefty, you're going to do pretty solid. Righties, 77 and 71. That's not bad. But you get into a problem when you get to the fielding. And that's where it's like, if he was to just to get like higher fielding stats, that literally, if his arm strength and fielding were 70, that would make this card 1,000 times better. But he's not going to throw anybody out. He's probably going to make some errors in left field. If the ball's not hit directly to him, I mean, he has a good amount of speed. But if you're going to have to chase after some balls, he might not be able to actually catch them, because he's not a good fielder. He has amazing speed, so he definitely will be able to steal bases for you. But at the same time, his fielding stats literally just tank. You know, it's just not good. So if you just need a hitter, then get this guy in your lineup if you only want a hitter. But if you want to actually win games, there's no way that this is going to be, you know, a card for you to actually get. And you could easily, and I'm going to go to number 2 here, you could easily get this Michael Brantley for less money, and I can guarantee you he will play a lot better than that card. I hope. I would hope. I mean, you will start off with batting this time. Batting, you got 92 contact and 84 contact. That means he's going to get hits a ton. The 93 vision is really nice. I could see this man just keep hitting singles and doubles and just smashing the ball. The power isn't too, like, alarming. It's not like, oh boy, that's a lot of power. You're not going to hit too many home runs with this guy, but at the same time, he has so much contact, it doesn't matter. His 99 clutch is totally going to come into play too. His fielding stats aren't great, and that's probably the thing that's keeping him back from really doing too much. But if he was to, let's say, you know, increase that arm strength to 75, and maybe that fielding to 80, that, you know, actually the fielding could stay the same. If his arm strength was go to 75, I don't see how this card would be, you know, I just don't see really much else to upgrade besides his arm strength. I guess you could upgrade his power, but you don't necessarily need to. Arm strength and arm accuracy. Other than that, this card's literally just he's going to do solid for your team. I mean, the 79 speed is definitely good enough to steal bases with, and he's going to get on base enough to do that. So he'll be, I mean, he was probably one of the solid players in the game that will do what you need him to do. He's not going to win the game for you, but he will totally help you do everything. I mean, he's just going to be solid. He's one of those players that you're just looking at him and you're like, that guy's solid. Alright? So we're going to go to number 1 now. And I think I may be a little biased here just because I've used this card for basically the entire game. I bought this card back when he was like an 80-something overall. He went down to 86. I still used him. He went back up to 88. Still use him. He's probably one of my favorite cards in the game, and I've kept him for basically ever. So we're going to look at his hitting stats. About 6 out of 7 times a week, he is a 5 or 4 star, so he does increase his stats. So again, that would go up to, let's say, at least 85 against righties and at least 80 against lefties. So the contact is definitely there. He has solid contact. His power isn't too special. He doesn't hit too many home runs for me. I can probably show you his stats after. His vision is 55, but it's actually surprisingly low because when I play with him, I feel like his vision is definitely a lot higher than that. So that's basically it for there. Not too much else. His fielding is really good. Very solid arm strength. The arm accuracy again at 59, but I've never had a problem with him actually, like, you know, missing throws. I actually don't know if he's made too many errors for me at all. The reaction time is 77, so that's nothing too much to talk about, but his speed is very good. He bats second for me in my lineup, and he is just insane on the base paths. If the other team doesn't actually, let's say, you know, pitch out, there is probably like a 1% chance that you actually get this guy out. So we're just going to go to Starling Marte here. Where at bats, 480. Let's go to hits, 220. Alright, so let's actually get to home runs. He has 25 home runs in 480 at bats. So again, that's like a home run would be every like 20 at bats. That'd be 25 times 20 would be 500. So that's around every 20 at... No, that's false. It's like 5% of the time. Yeah, so that's 20%. Yeah, so I guess 1 out of every 20 at bats you'll hit a home run. Seems like a lot. It's 1 every 6 games. Yeah, and that sounds about right for him actually. Runs 137. I don't want to show you guys too many of these Did I already pass steals? As you can see, I don't get too many walks. I really don't like walking, but I do if I have to. He's made 1 error for me, so that's, I mean, like I said, he doesn't really make errors. Stolen bases, 65. So he's got caught stealing 25 times and stolen 65. The percent really isn't that great. A lot of those times he got caught stealing, it was on me actually. I can think of multiple times where he would actually just not be able to steal the base because I'd probably normally just go on the first pitch, they'd pitch out and he'd get caught. Probably wasn't actually his fault. I mean, I don't know how much this average means. He's batting 458. He hits the ball a lot, okay? He gets on base a ton. He has a very nice swing. Very solid player. I don't know what else to say. I mean, the guy's literally amazing for me. So, other than that, I'm going to go over a couple of people that I didn't actually include in this list. One in particular that I probably sat around for like 5 minutes just wondering, you know, who should be at number 5 was either Michael Saunders or Justin Upton. And the reason Justin Upton was going to be in is because he had decent power numbers and his speed was also good. It looked like he had good enough speed to steal bases. And his fielding isn't actually that bad. So you could argue that Justin Upton could be 5. But the reason I actually didn't put him at 5 was because he's probably not going to hit too many singles. And I know a lot of guys are like, well, that doesn't really matter. But that also takes away his speed and stealing factor. Because if he gets doubles a ton, if he gets doubles, he's not going to steal third base. This guy's not going to steal third for you. He can steal second, but he's not going to steal third. The reason I didn't put him in is because he's probably not going to get too many singles, which means he's not going to steal too many bases, so his speed wouldn't really come into play too often. If that makes sense, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. He'd get on second base, he'd get doubles a lot more, and I just don't see him stealing as often as he would because of the fact that he'd be on second so often. His fielding stats aren't great, but again, neither was Michael Saunders. Saunders had better arm strength, and his fielding was worse, but at the end of the day, I just feel like Michael Saunders was definitely just more reliable, at least for me. So that's why I picked Saunders over him. Jason Worth was going to be up here, but it was more the fact that with Worth, against righties, who you face more than lefties, against righties he wasn't as good. Lefties he's solid against, but you're not facing lefties as much. He has basically the same fielding as Michael Saunders, and his speed's a little bit lower. So that's the main reason I picked him, was because he's not as good as Michael Saunders, at least. I don't believe he is. I don't think he is. Alex Gordon could have easily made this list, and I love this man because of his fielding and his arm strength, but his hitting stats just obviously are not up to par, and his speed really doesn't make up for it either. So it's depressing. I really like this guy. If you haven't seen highlights of this guy throwing people out, it's honestly a joy to watch, especially if you're an outfielder, because he literally has like some of the best arm strength in the game, and I think that goes unnoticed. Melvin Upton Jr., very fast. Fielding is a little on the lower side, but the arm strength is solid. Just not a good hitter again. You kind of need to have decent hitters when you get up to that, when you're getting up to, at least above 1,600. So, not as good of a hitter. Brett Gardner probably is going to be the same thing. I didn't actually look at this card. So again, not an amazing hitter. The fielding is decent. The speed is really good, but again, the hitting is just a little off. Matt Holliday is going to be too slow to actually play. Rajay Davis is going to be not a good enough hitter to actually hit against righties. You could probably work him in against lefties. If you played this guy against lefties, you could, work that out. And Colby Rasmus could possibly work, but again, not as much speed. So, again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. The left fielders were a little weird. They weren't as good as any other. They were kind of worse than every other, position altogether. So, I have Starling Marte. I think that Starling Marte and Michael Brantley are the two best left fielders you could actually get in the game. If you want to get serious, I don't think that you could actually choose someone else. I mean, if you didn't do live series, this Alex Gordon card would actually probably be one of the better cards. UC would have been my favorite card to play with. But again, I don't know what you guys are, So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you don't, let me know why. I'm trying to get my videos, I'm trying to get them, to have better quality. And I think I'm going to fix a problem, and it will be better quality after, not really after, but relatively soon, probably when August starts. So I know it's a ways away. Hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. Hopefully they're informative. That's really my goal. So if you guys like them, let me know, or do whatever you want to do, because that's cool. And I guess I'll just see you guys in the next video. So